your skin tells a new tale. From left to right, I'll read each night till I'm 102.
Duncan, Africa is one way that God's given us to help restore dignity to people who have had a hard go of it in life. And I feel that's really important. It's important, not just to us, but we feel it's important to God. I'm Jay Duncan. Been a guitar maker for about 20 years, maybe 21 years now. I worked for John Larrabee for 7 years. And for the past 5 years, I've had a trade school in Uganda where I teach guitar making. My thing for Africa started in 1983 when I was 13 years old, and I watched the Ethiopian famine on TV like everybody else, and it struck me as something that was just so unimaginably wrong that millions of people could starve to death while we watched them on TV. And as I got older, in about 1996, 1997, I had an idea. It might have been the spark for what became Duncan, Africa. And it was just that you could go somewhere where they needed work in the world and teach them how to do stuff, and then help them to sell, whatever you're making somewhere in the world where it would actually be worth selling. So what Duncan Africa is basically it's a trade school that's going to train a bunch of guys to build beautiful guitars. Not everyday guitars, but amazing guitars. And it's going to help them to start their own manufacturing company. The idea is that once it gets off the ground, it'll be generating enough income that we can do the same thing again in another community. One of the guys that we've had from the start is named Mwesige David, and he was a woodworker long before I met him, and he actually had his own small woodworking company that he built up. He's a far better woodworker than I'll ever be, ever in my life. And he runs the shop for us in Uganda, and I make visits to the shop. Most of our students come from backgrounds that are terribly impoverished. We want to do what we can to restore dignity.
Yeah, well, I did tour with one of the Duncan Africa guitars for a while, and I took one of Jay's guitars that he had made over to England with me one time, and that was amazing. It's an amazing tone in that guitar, and I can remember one sound man, this was in Oxford, he just couldn't believe the sound I was getting out of the guitar. He didn't know what I was playing, so after the sound check, I said, "What is that thing?" It stands alone, on the merits of the quality of instrument that it is, even aside from the vision of the company.
Whenever people use them, they get asked after they come off stage, what is that you're playing? It sounds so good, and that's inspiring not just for us but for our students as well. For me, a guitar. It's so much more than just wood and strings. It inspires. It helps people to write and to express themselves. The reason that we chose a guitar to build in Uganda is because people love music everywhere, and we want this thing to go viral. Really is what we really want. There is so much dignity in a good day's work. And I think that's important for us. It's important to God for us to have that.
The stairway, I wonder if I'm ready. It's more than hard to give away.